Hello everyone. Okay, so today we are going to begin our ninth chapter, that is the making of national movement 1870s to 1947. Okay, so here you must be wondering why I'm calling the 11th chapter the ninth chapter, but as we know that the syllabus of CBSE has changed, so we are calling it this chapter has converted into the ninth chapter of class 8 history. Okay, so we are covering this in the old books. This chapter was the 11th chapter. All right, so let's begin. So this is the making of national movement 1870s to 1947. So, as we know, till 1857, the revolt and a lot of things happened even after that, okay? Industrialization and a lot of things, right? So, here what it is saying that what in the previous chapters we have covered what topics? British conquest of territories and takeover of kingdoms. We have learned this, we know this by doctrine of lapse, right? Introduction of new laws and administrative institutions, that was also true. Changes in lives of peasants and tribals, educational changes in 19th century, debates regarding the condition of women in the reformers chapter, challenges to the caste system, social and religious reform, revolt of 1857 and its aftermath, decline of crafts, growth of industries. All of these topics we have covered in the previous chapters, right? So basically, what it is through all these topics, if you see, Britishers were controlling India, if it from all the terms, how whatever it is, if it is education, or if it is about women, if it is about Indian craft work, or if it is about industries and social and religious things. So this is what called colonial law, right? This is what called colonial rule. Colonial rule means the one who is controlling India from uh, any country from all terms, economically, socially, culturally, from everything. Okay, so now it is saying that these all things discontented, if we see conclusively that this all thing discontented Indians and with British rule, right? So let's talk about the emergence of nationalism. Okay, so in this topic, it is saying that after all of these fights, India came at a certain point where it felt, what is India basically? Okay, what is India? What is this country? And for whom this country is meant? So the answer came was India was the people of all India, a people of India, all the people irrespective of class, color, caste, creed, language or gender. Okay? All of these people belongs to India, and this India is made up of all these people, not just a territory, not just a some square kilometer area is India. No, it is made up of people of India. Okay. With this answer came the awareness that the British were exercising control over the resources of India. As this answer came, Indians, another thing which came up or which came in the highlightings was that Britishers are exercising control over the people of India, means over India, right? And the lives of its people means the life of India. And as until this control was ended, India could not be for Indians. Okay, so this is what in the first paragraph. Now in the next paragraph it is saying after 1850 it was there was an India needed political associations, and a lot of political associations also began to be formed. But in 1870s and 1880s they were most in the you can say, especially those that came into being in the 1870s and 1880s. Those political associations who built in the 1870s to 1880s time period were more effective. Okay, now most of them were, their leaders were English educated people, professionals such as lawyers who were leading these political associations. And there are the names of some political associations such as Sarvajnik Sabha, the Indian Association. Here are the points. Please put attention towards them. Okay. So this is Sarvajnik Sabha, Indian Association, Madras Mahajan Sabha, Bombay Presidency Association, and of course INC. We have read till now, Indian National Congress, right? Which is the most effective. Now let's get to the next thing. Here is Poona Sarvajnik Sabha. So Poona is basically in Maharashtra, right? So Poona Sarvajnik Sabha, its literal meaning is Poona, a place in Maharashtra. Sarvajanik. Sarva means all. And Janik means what? Janik means of the people. Jan means people, right? And Janik means of the people. So Sarva plus all, Sarv is equal to all plus Sarv is equal to all plus Janik is called Sarvajanik Sabha, right? Though many of these associations functioned in specific parts of the country, their goals were stated as the goals of the all people of India. So basically, these associations were leading over a particular place, but that doesn't mean that they are only they only wants to lead those particular people. They want to lead all over the India. They want to tell people. They want to encourage people throughout the India. Okay, because what they wanted was that people of India should be sovereign, and they should have this consciousness that they should be conscious about what is happening with India, and they should have that feeling of nationalism, right? So sovereign means what? Sovereign means freedom, basically, the capacity to act independently without outside interference. That is called freedom. Simple way. Sovereign, they wanted simple freedom. Okay. And if we see, sovereign means that to take your decisions independently by yourself. You don't need anybody else to take your decisions. You're yourself to take your own decisions. And if somebody is interfering without your allowance, that is called non sovereign. Okay. And if somebody is not, that is called sovereign. Okay. Now here it comes. The dissatisfaction with British rule intensified in 1870s and 1880s. Now how it happened? So there were three things which did this. First was first one was what? The Arms Act. That Indians were not allowed to uphold arms, were not allowed to possess arms. So this Arms Act came. Okay. Second thing was the Vernacular Press Act. Okay, Vernacular Press Act. So in this act, what was there? Vernacular Press Act is basically the censorship thing, that people of India, if any newspaper or any if any pamphlet, newspaper, anything which prints objectionable things, objectionable according to the government, means if somebody is writing against British government, then according to this act, that person will be tried in the court. Okay. If anything is written against British government, that will be considered as objectionable. Okay. So if that person will be confiscated, their newspaper company will be confiscated. Confiscated means zabt karna, means taken by the government. Uh, you can say forcibly. Okay. Now the next thing came. The third act was in 1883. There was Ilbert Bill. So basically, this Ilbert Bill, what was this allowing? So if any Indian is being tried, so it is the judge or the lawyer are always the English lawyers or the British lawyers. Okay, but in according to this act came in the favor of Indians. This act came, and what was this act telling us? That if any European person or British person is being tried, so that person will be tried by the Indian judges of the country. Okay, so this was this act which came in which year? 1883. So as this act came, a furor, uh, a furor was there, furor over the attempt. There was a furor, means there was chaos in the European people, and they were against of this. They opposed this, and finally the government, the British government, taken this Ilbert Bill back, and this had a really very this showed that there were racial attitudes of British in India, right? So this made Indians feel that, yeah, that is so true, that Indians are being, uh, you know, uh, they are being, there is a racism. So this thing happened. As happened in 1880s, this thought that all India organization of educated Indians is needed. India needed this in 1880. But as the Ilbert Bill was taken aback by because of the British people or European people living in India, so this deepened this desire that we actually need all India organization. So after this, INC was made in 1885, and 72 delegates from all over the country met at Bombay in December 1885, right? December 1885, just after the 2 years of Ilbert Bill. And at that time, who were the leaders of INC? Very, very much, educated people, including Dadabhai Naroji, Feroz Shah Mehta, Badruddin Tyabji, W.C. Banerjee, which is Vomesh Chandra Banerjee, Surendranath Banerjee, Romesh Chandra Dutt, S. Subramania Iyer, and among others was largely from Bombay and Calcutta. Okay, these 72 were largely from Bombay and Calcutta. So, as this happened, so this INC was made. All right. Now here it comes about a little description about Dadabhai Nauroji. So, who was Nauroji basically? He was a businessman and a publicist who settled in London, and for a time he was also the member of British Parliament. Okay, and guided the younger nationalists of India to fight against British. And who is publicist? Publicist means what? The one who is circulating information, who is circulating, who is encouraging the people, the public of any country. So that person is known as publicist. Okay. So this Dadabhai Naroji was also a publicist. He was a retired British official, and A.O. Hume also played a part in bringing Indians from the various regions together. So this A.O. Hume he was the retired British official, not Naroji. For some time he was part of Parliament, British Parliament, and A.O. Hume was the retired British official who also wanted India to be, to raise his voice against Britishers. So here is an image of Dadabhai Naoroji. Here is a little description written that Nauroji's book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India offered a scathing criticism of the economic impact of British rule. Okay, so Nauroji wrote a book that Poverty and Un-British Rule in India. It was the name of Dadabhai Naroji's book. It is something which needs to be remembered because it can come in your examinations. So if you have any kind of question related to this topic, this much today we have studied. So if you have any kind of doubt or questions related to this, please mention in the comment section. I'll answer your all doubts and confusions in the comment section. So thank you. Have a good day.